Like, how cool is the name Cannon Busters? This show's gotta be good, right? What is up, Netflix fans, and welcome back to my channel. Netflix has a brand new anime series today. We are going to talk about it. I need your comments down below. Did you enjoy this series? Have you heard of it? Let's get into it. So in episode 1 of Cannon Busters, the characters of Sam and Casey arrive in Balloon Town not knowing where to go next. They're hoping Philly the Kid can help them despite bounty hunters on his tail. And I love how this show is just so simplistic, yet there are so many things happening, so many concurrent storylines and just elements, really things that you like and you're enjoying watching. But it's a show unlike any other that I have seen in quite some time. Like a Cowboy Bebop-esque anime with Western themes, but it also has the humor of a show like The Boondocks and bringing new elements to it. Frankly, elements that make this show feel fresh and over the top, but over the top in the best way possible. Listen, if you're not on board for the pacing of this show after about 10 or 15 minutes into the first episode, and you're like, this is just way too fast, too much going on, don't like the tone, don't like the humor, then I don't think you're going to love the show, because it is that from the beginning all the way until the end of episode 12. But if you are on board and you do like the crazy nature of the storytelling, the land of Gearbolt, and really the motley crew of travelers that we are following on this journey, then I think you're going to find this show extremely entertaining, something that could end up being rewatchable. And this is the first time I've said this all year, this is the first anime on Netflix in 2019 that I would probably rewatch tomorrow if I had the time, if I wasn't doing all of these other reviews, because I just had so much fun with these characters, and they're layered. There are so many depths to these characters that you don't expect at the beginning of the show. So you have two best friends, basically. You have Sam, this friendship robot determined to reunite with her best friend Kelby, who is the missing heir to her kingdom that is under siege. Then you have Casey. This is a repair robot looking for an upgrade. They come together and run into Philly the Kid, not Billy the Kid, Philly the Kid. It's the Western. I love everything about this show. Philly the Kid, who is a wanted fugitive. Now, I'm not going to go into deep spoiler territory, and what I'm about to say is a mild spoiler. It happens literally in the first 10 minutes of the first episode, so if you want to know nothing about this show, then tune out, but this is kind of like something you're going to find out immediately. This character is immortal, so he's going to be around for a while. If you don't like him, you better get used to him, but I loved what they did. Every single time he dies, he gets a brand new number kind of tattooed or placed on his body. 22, he's died 22 times. 23, now he's died 23 times. And it's so interesting to see how he dies all throughout the show, and the manner in which he comes back, and the manner in which he continues to get revenge on each person who takes him out throughout the series. And that is a storyline that is interesting enough, but then you have this giant scope journey that these characters are going on to reunite these two characters. And did I say meshing of different things that we love about anime and animated shows in general? The first episode, you get into it, you're like, what is this show trying to be? Because it feels like a straight anime at times, especially when they try to interject the humor. And the humor, while it wasn't all there for me, I didn't laugh at every single joke, if you will, not necessarily jokes, just quirky antics of the characters. But it did become more and more entertaining, and by like episodes 4 and 5, I'm like, yeah, I'm on board with these characters. I'm interested to see where they go next because they're fleshed out so well. And then you have a show kind of focusing on black characters, yet it's an anime, yet it carries Western themes, yet there are giant mech suits, yet there are people carrying swords. Does anything I say sound interesting to you? Because if it does sound at least moderately interesting, give this show a chance. It is so much fun. At times, I did sit back and go, maybe the story is getting a bit too convoluted, because the destination that they're trying to get to, it's easy enough, it's simple enough. They're on this journey, characters join them along the way, and it felt like every episode there's another bad guy that's either chasing after them. Philly the Kid has a lot of enemies. I mean, the guy is immortal, but as he goes on this journey, he makes more enemies. Sometimes he'll trust someone that maybe he shouldn't trust. One episode in particular where he maybe trusts a girl a bit too much, and Mama Hitch She comes for him. Listen, there are so many side characters, Mama Hitch, like I mentioned, but others that just come into play and they serve their purpose, but they serve it in a way that is beyond entertaining. And the action in this show, it is exactly what you want it to be. It's violent, it's bloody, it's messy. Characters get themselves into bloody situations. There's a bounty hunter named JoJo, and that's interesting. Austin, why is this show called Cannon Busters? Yes, it's a cool title, but what does it mean? Well, when the Cannon Buster technology takes over at points in the series, you will see why it is called Cannon Busters. Guys, this was such a cool show, and one big issue that I could have had with it, especially after watching the first episode, was the balance of tone. How do you manage all of these different things and messages and the humor, the action, the adventure aspect, all of these different subplots? How do you do it and still make the show entertaining without wanting to nitpick the crap out of it? I think it manages to do it, and a lot of it has to do with the creator, LaShawn Thomas, who just invents this world that just takes over, and it's visually pleasing. I mean, the animation style, we're back to the animation style that I enjoy seeing in a good anime, especially an anime on Netflix, because as of late, it's been more towards the 3D world, and there are moments in the show where it gets a little bit 3D, especially when the action is happening, but strict 2D animation, the shading, the color, I mean, everything, it looks so great. It is a show that you're going to want to look at, and then audibly, the sub, the dub, no matter what route you go down, I thought the voice acting was really good. I mean really good. It's part of the reason why I fell in love with a lot of these characters. If you're asking me who my favorite character is, I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's Philly the Kid. Philly the Kid is just, it's one of the more interesting characters I've seen, and for a character to be immortal, yet you are worried about his mental state, and at times, even though you know it's coming, his physical state, it's so interesting how they wrote this character and how he plays into the story and comes back around by the end. And don't worry, there are consequences for characters' actions in this show. They don't just murder a bunch of people and get away with it. Well, they do at times, but things start happening around episode, I believe it was like episode 10, where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Guys, Cannon Busters is an absolute blast. Did not expect to love this show as much as I did. I'm going to go 80% for Cannon Busters. Probably my favorite anime of the year so far. And I want to end with this. It is not going to be a show for everyone if you don't like the mixture of genres and all of the different elements and characters. And if it's just too much for you, I completely understand that. But as for me, I was shocked with how much fun I had. Very quick watch as well. Only 12 episodes. Each episode, I think, clocking in around like 22 to 25 minutes. Guys, this is a show worth watching. Have you seen it? Did you enjoy it? Thank you so much for watching this video. Later on today, a lot of things coming. Invader Zim is coming. Mindhunter Season 2 is coming. Sextuplets is coming. 47 meters down, probably Saturday morning. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll see you very soon.